Hello book besties! You already know that it is time for another blind TBR video. Let's find out what I will be reading in October. I literally look forward to these all month long because there's so much joy I get from unwrapping these books and figuring out what I'm going to be reading, and it's just like the element of surprise that makes me so happy. If you've been watching me do these videos for the last few months, you'll probably notice I have a lot less on my shelf this time because I kept opening books that just didn't feel like they were perfect for the season or that I was like really ecstatic to read. So I really narrowed it down this time to some truly fall books that are going to give me all of those vibes for October and that I'm really excited to read. Before I get into choosing numbers and opening these books, of course there's a few that I want to mention. First of all, The Wedding Witch is coming out in October and I'm so excited about this one. It follows The Ex-Hex and The Kiss Curse, and if you haven't read those, they are so cute and so perfect for fall. They really put you in that like fall mood, but they're the cutest little rom-coms. The characters are witches, but it's very light. There's some slight open door to them, but nothing too graphic. They're just a really fun fall read, and so I'm of course looking so forward to another installment into this series. And then my Patreon is going to be reading One Dark Window. I know this isn't a new book, but so many of us haven't read it yet. I could not be more excited about this book. It's like a gothic romantasy, which I'm finding that I really like the gothic vibes as long as it's not too dark, and so I'm very excited to read this one in October with my Patreon and see what all the hype is about it, because I don't know that I've seen anyone dislike this book. This girl I think is like living with a monster in her head, but there's also romance involved. I don't know, it literally just sounds so perfect for fall. And then another one that comes out in October that I have been so eager to read. It's not giving me like all the fall vibes, but I don't even care. It's Promise Me Not by Megan Brandy. This is the follow-up to Say You Swear. And if you don't already know, I stinking loved that book. I think it is her brother's story from the first book. I'm so excited about getting his story. If you like college or sports romance, then definitely try this one out. And the last little announcement before we unwrap these books is that I am hosting a readathon in October. This will be my first public readathon ever, but it is Twilight-a-thon, of course. For all of my Twilight besties, this one's for you and for me because I'm obsessed with Twilight and I don't care how cliche that makes me. The readathon will take place from Monday, October 7th through Sunday, October 13th. We will have reading prompts and live reading sprints, playing some games and reading together. You don't have to read Twilight. You can just come for the fall vibes and read stuff that applies to the prompts. I'm so excited about this, and I have some of my absolute best friends joining me for that. So if you like Twilight, especially, make sure you're following me on Instagram because that's where primarily a lot of the updates are going to be. Otherwise, the live sprints will be here on YouTube. Okay, now let's open my 5 books that I'm going to unwrap from here. I have the numbers in the cup in case you're new here and haven't seen me do this before. I'm going to draw a number, I'm going to open a book. At the end, I can swap one out if I happen to open one that I realize I'm not very excited about. And also, I sometimes cheat the system a little bit. I am going to open up the first 3 books no matter what. I just hope that those numbers, at least one of them gets picked so that my TBR can be a little bit smaller. I keep ending up with like 10 book TBRs, and I would love to downsize a little bit. So hopefully at least one of these gets opened. If not, at the end I am going to open those because it is 3 books that I am so excited to read, and so they like have to be on my TBR. Alright, first number. 11. I know what this is. It's the only tiny little book on the cart, so I know exactly what this is, and it's perfect. A Dark and Stormy Murder. This is obviously a cozy mystery. I have been working on a cozy mystery vlog. I'm reading some that my friends think I will love, like trying so hard to find a 5-star cozy mystery. I have been really enjoying some of these cozies because like this time of year I feel like is a perfect cozy mystery season. It says Camilla Graham's best-selling suspense novels inspired Lena London to become a writer, so when she lands a job as Camilla's new assistant, she can't believe her luck. Not only will she help her idol craft an enchanting new mystery, she'll get to live rent-free in Camilla's gorgeous gothic home in the quaint town of Blue Lake, Indiana. Already here for those vibes. But Lena's fortune soon changes for the worse. First, she lands in the center of small-town gossip for befriending the local recluse. Then, she stumbles across one thing that a Camilla Graham novel is never without: a dead body found on her new boss's lakefront property. Now, Lena must take a page out of one of Camilla's books to hunt down clues in a real crime that seems to be connected to the novelist's mysterious estate before the killer writes them both out of this story for good. This sounds right up my alley, and like, of all the cozies I've been trying, this synopsis makes me feel like it could possibly be like that 5-star book. Okay, next. Number 7. Yes! Oh, I'm so happy. The Temptation of Magic by Megan Scott. This is a newer book. I just got it and I'd already committed to a buddy read for this one, but I was like, I'm only gonna end up doing the buddy read if I actually open the book. And that worked out so perfectly. This one is again a romantasy that she's like hiding all her life from the Wake, which is a shadowy organization that governs the supernatural creatures. If they discover that Nicole is an Imperial, which is a shape-shifting immortal hunter, they'll force her to join them or kill her for resisting. Her mother like left behind secrets in an art collection and she goes to uncover the truth, but then the art collector is murdered and the painting is stolen, and the Wake sends their best Imperial assassin to hunt down the creature responsible for the murder and find the painting. So now she's like working with this Imperial like hunter and assassin, but she is an Imperial, and so I'm sure this is going to just have me on the edge of my seat, but also like here for the supposed enemies to lovers romance, and I just really hope that I enjoy this one as much as I think that I will. Alright, book number 3. Number 10. Yes! Another one that has been on my cart for literally months, and I've been waiting for this one to open up. The Reappearance of Rachel Price. The timing is so perfect. I probably wouldn't have even enjoyed this one as much had I opened it in the summer. I'm so happy that for October, I'm finally gonna be able to read this one. If you don't already know, this is a newer one by Holly Jackson, who is the same author of Good Girl's Guide to Murder, and I really enjoyed that book. I'm watching the show right now, and so I'm excited for like another book from her. It says that 18-year-old Belle has lived her whole life in the shadow of her mom's mysterious disappearance. 16 years ago, Rachel Price vanished and young Belle was the only witness, but she has no memory of it. Rachel is gone, long presumed dead, and Belle wishes everyone would just move on. But the case is dragged up from the past when the Price family agrees to a true crime documentary. Oh my gosh, this is so fun. Belle can't wait for the filming to end, for life to go back to normal, and then the impossible happens. Rachel Price reappears and life will never be normal again. Rachel has an unbelievable story about what happened to her. Unbelievable because Belle isn't sure it's real. If Rachel's lying, then where has she been all this time, and could she be dangerous? With the cameras still rolling, Belle must uncover the truth about her mother and find out why Rachel Price really came back from the dead. Guys, okay, I'm gonna be honest, that's the first time I've read this synopsis. I definitely just got this book because everyone was talking about it, and I am notorious for doing that. Like, if people seem to really be liking it, I kind of just get it. But that sounds so good, and now I'm like doubly excited to read this book. All right, 2 more. Come on, 1, 2, or 3 would be great. 8. It tricked me. I thought it was gonna be a 3. Ooh, okay, this is a fun one. Vicious. This is also not a new book at all, but it's one that's been on my TBR for so long, and I was like, I really should stick it on my cart considering it's fall season, and I'm pretty sure this is like a perfect book for fall. It's about these two roommates that are brilliant, arrogant, and lonely boys who recognize the same sharpness and ambition in each other. So in their senior year, they share research interest in adrenaline, near-death experiences, and seemingly supernatural events, revealing an intriguing possibility that under the right conditions, someone could develop extraordinary abilities. But when their thesis moves from the academic to the experimental, things go horribly wrong. I think, I could be so wrong guys, but I think this is going to be like a Frankenstein type of a retelling. I know I'm probably wrong and everyone's going to be laughing at me right now, but I'm like so eager to finally read this book and get it off of my shelf because it's literally been there for years. Alright, one more number. So far, I don't think I'm swapping any of these out, but I really hope 1, 2, or 3 gets picked now. 15. As far away from 1, 2, or 3 as we could get. Okay, I'm not mad about this because I feel like I have a lot of like thrillers and y'all know I'm more of a romance girly. So I'm happy to finally have a college romance. Beg You to Trust Me. This is the sequel to Dare You to Hate Me that I read in the spring, and I really liked that book. I've been eager to read this. I'm just a little like, college romance fits the fall vibes, but I'm sitting here in my head like calculating, okay, I've got a couple other romance on my TBR, so do I want to swap this out for potentially another more fitting fall book? What do I do, guys? What do I do? Okay, for you that was like 5 seconds, for me that was like 5 minutes. I sat here thinking about this and I'm going to swap this one out because I have right now a really good mix of romance and thrillers, but I definitely have enough romance and this is the season for the thrillers or the specific type of like fall fantasy. So I'm going to skip this one reluctantly because I am so excited to read it, but I want to give a chance for like another thriller potentially for the season. So I'm going to open a different number. Okay, last one for real because I can't swap again. Number 6. I hope I don't regret this. Oh no, this is perfect. This is so perfect. The Vanishing at Castle Moreau. I will probably never read this in like the spring and summer, so this is much more fitting for the fall. This is like a haunting legend, an ominous curse, and a search for a secret buried deep within the castle walls. It takes place at Castle Moreau, and I think it has like 2 different timelines going on. Women are disappearing from the area, and the eerie circumstances seem to parallel a local legend where Daisy is thrust into a web that could ultimately steal her sanity, if not her life. And then it has the present day timeline where Cleo is hired by the grandson of this woman to face her hoarding in the dilapidated Castle Moreau, but when Cleo uncovers more than just the woman's stash of collectibles, a century-old mystery and the dust of the old castle's curse threaten to rise again. This will be my first Jamie Jo Wright, and I have a few friends that have been telling me I must try her books. I'm pretty sure that they're technically like a Christian thriller, but I don't know how strong like the faith element is. I'm just hoping for more of like a less triggering thriller because sometimes the triggers in thrillers just bother me. So I'm hoping that this hits exactly what I want for a thriller. And go figure, as always, the numbers I needed to open did not get picked, obviously. So once again, I have like a 10 book TBR. So I'm gonna open these 3 now and add them to my already giant TBR. The first one is Faking the Fall. This is part of the Sweater Weather series. This is book 4. I have already read 1, 2, and 3 and absolutely adored them. These are like sweet, small town rom-coms, but all set in the fall. I've been really eager to jump back into this. They're such perfect palette cleansers, and with all the thrillers and heavier drama I'll be reading, this is going to be perfect. They are all written by different authors that collabed and came together, and though they all take place in like these fall towns, they all have like a different trope. And this one is about a movie star. What's a movie star to do when giving up the spotlight could hurt the ones he loves most? So this is gonna have like the famous person trope, but I am convinced that it'll be just as cute as the rest of the books have been. Let's mix it up. I'm gonna skip 2 and go for 3. Filthy Rich Vampire. Have I seen anyone ever talk about this book? No, I haven't. I was book shopping and I saw this and I saw vampire and I said say less and I bought the book. This is like rich family vampire that he is being pressured to get married and this human comes and works there. I really don't know much more than that. I really sincerely just got it because it's a vampire romance. So hopefully it is any good at all and I don't regret my decision to buy this book. And the last one for the giant TBR this month, probably one of the books I'm the most excited about. Unwanted by Mia Sheridan. Also have not seen anyone talking about this book, which is shocking to me because it's the same author of Archer's Voice. But again, I was book shopping and I saw it was sitting like this on the bookshelf with the face outward, and it instantly drew me in just based on the picture. And then I saw who the author was and was like, whoa, how have I not heard about this book? I need to read this book. And then the synopsis is very mysterious. Like there's a double murder investigation going and the only suspect in the case is a man who's been cut off from civilization entirely. She is a wilderness guide, so she goes to like help on the case. But the more that she learns about this guy Lucas, the more intrigued she becomes. You know, it's a romance, it's Mia Sheridan, and I'm just really hoping for like the perfect mystery, romance, and fall like atmospheric type of vibes with this one. So hopefully this doesn't disappoint either because again, I'm going into it like really blind and not knowing if anyone has said it's good or bad, but that's also like my favorite type of book to read. Literally like ridiculously stoked about this book. Plus, I mean, it's just such a stunning cover. And that is a wrap. Let's get these books put together so you can see how huge this TBR is. I can't even hold them all. And that's not including the 2 pre-orders that I have. So in other words, I need to cancel like all of my plans for October because I have a lot of reading to do. But I am so happy with this TBR. Like truly, I want to read all of these so badly and hopefully I actually have time and get through all of them. So that is a wrap. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked this video and you have not hit subscribe yet, please consider hitting that subscribe button and sticking around. I would love to know what's on your October TBR, like the top of your TBR that you're most excited to read. What are those books? And I will see you guys in my next video. I hope that your books are amazing.